What's up, y'all? My name is Seth Packan, and this is where small town brains talk about big city nonsense. This is Podunk Perspective.
Welcome back to the Podunk Perspective. I'm SJ McDonald, today bringing you Mr. Seth Packan.
Hey, look at that little switch up on the fly right there. I love it. SJ, thank you so much for coming on. You're an artist in town. Tell us where you're from and how you got into music.
I am from the beautiful state of Virginia. I grew up in Lexington, Virginia, and I moved here in 2017 to go to Belmont. I'm one of those Belmont kids.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved it. And I got a gig playing on Broadway my first week in town. Dang. And that's what really kicked me into the music scene. Mm-hmm. One version of the music scenes, because there's so many different. But yeah, I've been here ever since, and just waiting to host you on a podcast.
Oh, no, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. How'd you when did you pick up a guitar? How'd you get pushed into music?
I apparently, like so many people, I came out of the womb screaming, to the point where my aunt said that damn. That kid's got some lungs. I'm not even kidding you. And I grew up on a farm, so lots of time spent in a truck and a tractor with the radio. And it was always Alan Jackson on the radio, early Carrie Underwood on the radio. And singing was just in me. It's God put it in this heart and just said, girl, go. And I started singing in church, sitting beside my grandma. Absolutely. And she would sing harmonies, and I'd learn from her. And then eventually, I guess my mom had heard me too much screaming, singing in our in my bedroom. My bedroom was right above the kitchen, and I was always blasting Carrie Underwood's Some Hearts record and early Sarah Evans stuff, and just bouncing from bed to bed. It's back when I shared a room with my little brother, bouncing from bed to bed, singing. And my mom finally signed me up for some talent shows. She was probably this girl, we need to give her some purpose. But yeah, I was a 4-H kid. Okay. So I did showing cattle, goats, lambs. And so the 4-H for 1 or 2 years decided to do a 4-H Share the Fun talent competition.
Let's go.
And it was this is my time. And I dressed up like Hannah Montana. And
no way.
Straight up, the scarf thing she does. I looked like Hannah Montana.
Dang. And
my mom entered me, and I sang Crazy Dreams by Carrie Underwood. It was a deep cut, never on the radio that I know of. And that was it. Then she just kept signing me up for stuff. And this is the funny thing about it. I don't know if for you, do you remember much of your childhood?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, depending on the year.
It's very spotty for me, and I think it has to do with phones and technology taking up the brain. Because I don't even remember what it was like when my mom had asked me to do the shows. I just remember showing up and doing the shows. Mm-hmm. And maybe she didn't ask. She was just you're going to do this on Friday. You're going to do this talent show on Saturday. And
do you remember what that first show looked like?
It looked like the gymnasium of the local middle school. And it was such a little show that I remember it was they didn't even have the front curtains of the auditorium curtains pulled. Because it was just little me. Right. Tiny little me. Mm-hmm. And there was my parents, my grandparents, and maybe 20 other people in the crowd.
That's awesome.
I do remember doing a big spin, though. Mm-hmm. Hands up, spin. I was I'm going to own this crowd.
That's great.
Ain't nothing changed.
So you would say it was always easy for you to take the stage and own it?
Yes. It was easy for me to get up there and say, hey, give me attention. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So what point in your life did you know you were going to take this seriously and really pursue it as a career?
It's funny. I had this conversation the other day, for so many people, maybe yourself included, I had this, so many people has this moment that's I need to go to Nashville. This is what I'm going to do. Right. This is it. It's just a light bulb moment. For me, I always knew I wanted to be a country singer. I did not think about any of the steps. I was just that's what I'm going to be. That's what I am. Mm-hmm. And so I thought that you got on the radio and famous and a tour bus by just playing shows on the weekend. I didn't even think about Nashville. Yeah. I'd even watched the show Nashville, Seth, and I still didn't think, maybe I should go there. I don't know why. But somebody in my hometown came up to me when I was looking at colleges, and he was like, hey, there's Belmont University. Mm-hmm. You should consider going there. And that was my light bulb. I was like, oh, yeah, why didn't I think of that? And so I always knew, but it wasn't like a bam in my face thing. Yeah. Just sort of this general understanding of like, this is what I'm meant to do, and I'm going to get there with no plan. And sometimes no plan is the best plan.
Right.
I did do no plan for the first few years I was in town, and now I have switched to being a planned girl, which has made a difference.
Right, big time.
But there's a time and place,
right. Absolutely. So did you go into Belmont thinking, like, I might stay in Nashville or I might return home? Like, you weren't sure? Or did you know you were going to stay in Nashville?
I had not entertained the idea that I would be in Nashville for forever, but then all of a sudden that's what I was doing.
Right.
I'm noticing a pattern of not really thinking things through with me. It didn't feel weird to just be like, oh, yeah, I think I should probably stay.
No, sometimes that's good, though. It's like when you think about it, it's like you can overthink it, and then all of a sudden you should have done it, When was that moment in Nashville where like you started to take the stage and started to really get introduced to industry people?
I feel like it was after the pandemic, because I moved here in 2017, pandemic hit in 2020, and I could not speak to anybody in industry. Any publisher, record label, manager person I met, just the fact that they could know my name, I wanted it so bad at that point, still do, but I would freak out. And I wasn't confident enough in myself to just show up and be like, hey, I'm SJ, what's up? Yeah. Something as simple as that.
Right.
But talk myself into a corner and say some weird things.
And like every artist does, or has that moment, I feel like.
I really want to give a big shout out to anybody who talked to me in those years. Thank you for not ditching me right then, because I was just a nervous little bundle of dreams. Mm-hmm. But the big change for me was after 2020, because I moved back home for about 4 months. I was really lucky that I got out of my college housing scot-free. Moved home, started Zoom writing. I had already been co-writing all the time in Nashville, but then I would sit on my parents' front porch and Zoom write from like 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then get off of the porch and get to ride on a tractor with my dad. Not even kidding. It was like the best of both worlds. It was so great. And in that time, going home and going back and being like, okay, I've been stuck in the city for so long.
Right.
I need to be a farm kid again. I need to be the kid that I was when I fell in love with music. And it like reignited my love for country music. Because when I first got to Nashville and I got on Broadway, we were playing these rock songs, and I was like, I can sing big. I should be singing these big rocky country songs like Carrie Underwood's Last Name is the vibe I wanted all my music to be all the time, but a little angry too. Yeah. And that time in 2020 reminded me like, okay, I'm actually just a girl, and I'm not an angry girl, and I'm just a girl that loves cows and wants to write songs about that part of her life, and that is my life. I feel like every artist goes through, well, if you're unlucky like me, you're an artist that goes through like trying to be what you think you should be based on how people
perceive you.
Yes, exactly. Right. It's like people thought it was cool that I could sing big and in your face rocky, so that's what I did.
Right.
And I didn't think that, oh, I could write a song that makes somebody cry, maybe. That wasn't in the cards for me. Or like, I could write a song celebrating my family. Yeah. I could write a song about my hardships. I didn't think people would listen to that. Yeah. So I'm taking a long way to get there, but it just takes a lot of time. It took me time.
Yeah. How did you deal with like that first reaction making the move to Nashville, playing shows on Broadway, and then you have people coming up to you saying like, oh my God, you're this, you're that, like how do you deal with that?
Yeah, it was horse blinders are how you deal with it. Like sometimes people are so great and they're like, I think you're the next big thing. And then sometimes people are like, you should quit and be a bluegrass singer. And so it's just, at the end of the day, what I've learned over the past almost 9 years is that opinions
don't matter.
Yeah, they don't matter. As long as you're listening to your heart, there's going to be somebody that connects with you.
Absolutely.
And especially when you're on Broadway and everybody's drunk, they're going to have opinions that you won't like. I got a lot of opinions about my name being 2 letters. People would go up and be like, SJ, what kind of name is that?
That's crazy.
They would like spilling their beer on you. And
I feel like it's pretty normal.
Thank you. Thank you.
Screw that guy with
It's
beer.
like, this is simple. Actually, I made my name simple so you, who is drunk, could remember it.
Absolutely.
But you don't like it.
That's funny. So, what did that first release look like? You know, moving to Nashville and getting in the studio.
My first release looked like DistroKid, which confused the hell out of me. And the first song I actually ever put out in Nashville was in 2019, a song called "Give Me Back My Heart."
Okay.
We took the cover photo in my college dorm room against the wall. I wore my best friend's jacket because I didn't have cool jackets then. And I produced it from the ground up with an incredible producer who I worked with named Brandon Meager. And I would show up to his studio. I met him through a friend of a friend. Show up to his studio, play the song on my acoustic guitar, and then piece by piece, we'd put it all together. And I didn't know anything about marketing. Playlists were just becoming a thing back then with Spotify, the big Spotify boom.
TikTok was pretty new. If it was at the time.
TikTok was like, oh, this is stupid at that time.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know what I was doing. I just put out the song and was like, hello to my 10,000 Facebook followers.
Yeah.
I hope you like this song. And then speaking of like not having plans earlier, I was not a plan girl because also it's so expensive to record.
Right.
So I would just save up, record a song, wait a couple months before I could save up again, record a song. And it took forever between songs. Whoa. Whoa. We might have to cut that or keep it.
Podunk perspective.
Podunk perspective. I am a lady.
What a wild woman.
What a wild woman. I didn't even drink Dr. Pepper before this. I just ate these. Dr. Pepper makes you a girl burp, okay?
Hey, it's okay.
But I ate my Tic Tacs.
Are you sponsored by them yet? They should
No.
be.
They ought to. I've been talking about them
What
enough.
the heck?
Dr. Pepper. Love me back.
What's a Dr. Pepper Tic Tac taste like?
You want to try?
I'll try one.
So, when you first try your first Dr. Pepper Tic Tac, ooh, you take 4. You need the full experience. Take 4. I'll take 3. So when you first take the Tic Tac, 1, 2, 3. Standard Tic Tac.
Do you go like underneath the tongue, or like you just kind of?
I'm above the tongue. I'll go
above
under.
the tongue.
But here's the trick: suck on it for a while. That sounds wrong. And now, Seth, bite down.
Bite down.
Then it tastes like an actual Dr. Pepper.
Wow, that's crazy. Actually,
it's like we're having a Ratatouille moment.
it's really good. The flavors are there.
You remember when Ratatouille was eating the cheese and the strawberry, and there were fireworks?
Yeah, I feel it.
That is a Dr. Pepper Tic Tac, folks.
That's great.
Do you actually think it tastes like a Dr. Pepper in a way?
In a way, yeah. There's a little bit more like cherry flavor
I can see that.
in these, but I mean, it's still good. I'm not gonna complain about it.
It slays.
What's like? Do you have like a favorite flavor of Dr. Pepper, or like just
Straight up Dr. Pepper. I've had to cut back because I was drinking too much, and I was like, I'm not going to be able to fit in my pants. So much sugar.
For real.
We bought a house 3 months ago, and I bought that first week a 2-liter of Dr. Pepper to put in the fridge. It was my first time having my own fridge. I bought that 2-liter of Dr. Pepper so I could take 1 sip a day. And it took me 2 months to get through it.
Dang.
It might gross out some people, but I don't care. I like Dr. Pepper even when it's flat.
Right.
Or warm.
I think that's kind of the cool thing about Dr. Pepper is like it kind of tastes like a flat version of other sodas, but in a good way. If that makes sense.
I was going to say, take it back.
So do you have a song about Dr. Pepper? Like, do you have
don't.
a jingle yet?
I've actually never put Dr. Pepper in a song.
Dang. Well, they should throw you a few bucks. And
I should work on that. I wish I was the girl that did Dr. Pepper, baby, it's good and nice. Doo-doo.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
No, but that's great.
This girl made a video on TikTok and was like, Dr. Pepper, I have a jingle for you. And they actually used it in a commercial. And she probably made all the monies.
Dang.
If I was that girl, I would take that money and put out music like forever, always.
Absolutely. Well, talking about social media, like, what's your opinion on it, and how do you utilize it?
I love social media, and it's probably because I'm Gen Z. Mm-hmm. Are you Gen Z?
2021? Yeah. No.
Wait. You were born in 2021?
Sorry, 2001. Sorry, I said that wrong.
I didn't realize. Yeah, you're Gen Z.
Yeah.
I'm like the older Gen Z. You're definitely Gen Z.
Yeah, I think I'm on the cusp or something like that.
Yes. It matters so much. I love social media because it's a new way for me to connect to people, and it's free. And if you can't tell, I love to yap and gab. Right. And if you can't tell through my socials, I just love sharing. I think it's super fun. I love poking fun at myself on socials and finding ways to tie that into the music. And I'm like, why wouldn't you use it?
Absolutely.
And especially for someone who's like independent.
Right.
Why wouldn't you use it?
Absolutely.
And I think that pairing social media with actual touring is super helpful because there are just certain fans that will only go to shows in their hometown and not like you on Facebook or like you on Instagram. But then there's certain people that will only follow you on those social medias and don't even come to a show.
For sure.
So it's like, why not hit both?
Yep. That makes sense.
And yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I feel like, Facebook, like you mentioned it earlier, I feel like Facebook's very underrated for artists. Like,
yes.
Like you can hit really all ages on Facebook right now. And like from your grandparents all the way down to probably like a 16-year-old,
Yes.
I mean, that's when I started a Facebook,
My Facebook I have a video that's sort of popping off right now that got like to 170,000 views on Facebook this week.
Yeah.
And it happens to me every couple months, like something will pick up on Facebook. I had a video hit like 1.5 million views on Facebook this January, just of me and my boyfriend hanging a horseshoe over our back door. And I put my song, The Quilt, in the background.
Yep.
And it was like all these people loving, people love couples. And also, nobody has ever seen his face on my social media, even the 3-man. So they love that. And then with the song in the background, it was like double whammy.
Right.
Now, I didn't make any money off of it because my Facebook got hacked by ISIS a couple years ago.
Dang, what?
Yeah. We're trying to fix it. But ISIS hacked my Facebook. They were posting pictures and everything.
That's crazy.
And then we got it back. I had a friend who had a friend at Facebook. But I don't own my page anymore, so I can't run ads or make money.
Dang.
So if you're listening,
Facebook, figure this out for
Facebook, help.
Dang.
I need to give some payback to ISIS.
That's wild. Tell us about your song, the Quilt, because you did some content for it recently at a quilt museum.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So this song, The Quilt, came out of the worst day that I've ever had in Nashville. So I signed my first publishing deal in January of 2024, and that September was told I was being dropped.
Dang.
And when you sign a publishing deal, which I'm sure everybody listening to Podunk Perspective knows, but you're getting paid to write songs. It's typically a 1-year deal with 3 years of options, but it's not a thing that people get dropped in their first year a lot. And I just happen to be the lucky one. And I went in for a 9:30 meeting that I thought was just a calendar meeting. And I was told I was being let go. And I went into my 11 a.m. co-write. I was like, thanks, y'all, for letting me go right before I'm supposed to write a song that you own part of.
Right. Dang.
But it was a cathartic thing because I walked in, I was writing with Tori T.A. and Brittany Moore, and I walked in crying, my life is over, yada, yada. Brittany looked at me and was like, SJ, there's got to be something in this. You're a positive person. You don't let things keep you down. There's got to be something. So... in the world. I sat down and Brittany said, SJ, you love quilts. And I was like, oh yeah, I love quilts. What does that have to do with this? Why are you bringing this up? Yeah. And then we talked about how quilts are so many different pieces of things and patches of things, and it's all sewn together to make one big thing. Then we ended up writing a song called Love is the Patches and Life is the Quilt. And that song has become my anthem because also... 24 hours after I got dropped from my pub deal, I had a previously set meeting with my booker on Broadway to quit singing on Lower Broadway.
Dang.
And I was like, I had a day to figure out, am I going to keep this thing that I've been doing for like 6.5 years at that point? Or do I just make a big jump and make a change while I'm forced to make a change?
Right.
And I walked into this coffee shop the next morning, and there was a homeless man outside singing, I'm going through changes, the Ozzy Osbourne song. And I was like, that's my sign from God. I'm going to continue with this decision. So I quit Lower Broadway after getting dropped from my publishing deal within 24 hours.
Nice.
And life is the quilt. And it's like been the most challenging but best year of my career so far. Like, I feel confident in my music and what I'm putting out now. And I honestly think that I just needed to have a little shakeup in my life.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that brought out the real stuff. So, long way to get to that. But I love quilts. Found out there's a National Quilt Museum in Kentucky. So I had my manager reach out on a whim. And I was like, I finally have a manager. I'm going to use them.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
they responded. And National Quilt Day was this past Saturday, March 21st. And they were like, you can come and film a video in the museum.
Sweet. That's so cool.
And Seth, these were incredible quilts. I don't know how to make quilts. I have sewn just a little bit. But it's so much work. They have 3D quilts.
Dang.
Yeah.
How does that even happen?
I don't. A lot of prayers. That's an act of God. A 3D quilt.
That's crazy.
But yeah, we went and did content there and little things like that. Finding little avenues to promote yourself in different ways.
Absolutely.
Are what keeps artists like me, independent artists, afloat.
And you probably hit such a large niche that you don't even think about.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
All the grannies.
Yeah.
I keep telling people, like, call your grandma, we're making quilt school again.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it was cool. The videos have done pretty good, and they did a national press release, which I've never had that happen.
That's really sweet.
So
that's
it's like,
congrats. That's really cool.
Thank you.
All to the quilt.
All to the quilt.
So tell us about the songs you've dropped this year. You dropped one in January and one in March.
Yes. I dropped a song called You Say Vegas in January about how I want to get married. And the music video is straight up me dressed up as Elvis officiating a wedding. It was so fun. And then in March, I released a song called Blue Ridge Red about a fire in my hometown. Dang. Actually, there was a fire in the mountains. I'm from Blue Ridge. There was a fire in the mountains and on my dad's farm in the same weekend. And I was like, this is crazy. Writing a song about it. And then we're putting out another single, April 17th. That is a song called We Didn't Make It That Far. And it's about running into your ex in your hometown. And you experience that even in Nashville.
Right.
Which is crazy.
Well, because it's a touristy place, right?
Yes. And it's way more of a small town than you expect. And I'm really excited. We're actually shooting the content for it tomorrow.
Amazing. And then is there a project to follow up with that?
Yes. We're doing an EP coming out in May. I haven't decided on what it's called yet, but everybody will know when I do.
That's great. That's so exciting. Are you excited?
I'm super stoked. Ever since starting to work with a manager, I've started to like plan more.
Yep.
And we put out happens. Right? It's so crazy. So we put out an EP in December, and then was like, let's do another one in March.
Love it.
And then I have plans for some special projects this fall too. I'm ready to like feed the machine, and my fans have really turned into feeling like friends, and they are so supportive. And I write so many songs, it's only right for me to give people new stuff to listen to.
So for new listeners, how would you describe your sound?
My sound is like, if you're riding around on a farm in an old beat up pickup truck with somebody who's just like, oh my gosh, did I tell you this and this, this, this? That's the vibe. Like nostalgic with a little wild.
Love it. That's
and
great.
Yappy.
That's a great way to put it. Yes. So you brought your guitar today. I think we should get into some music.
Yes, let's do that.
Let's do it up. Cool. Check 1, 2.
Hey,
we are back with SJ McDonald. We got the guitar out. What's this first one you got for us?
I'll play the song coming out in April called We Didn't Make It That Far.
Let's go.
We always talked of getting out, had our heads in the clouds, and we were gonna chase on wherever the wind might blow. You were cutting grass, I had some cash from my dad stashed into savings. We'd throw a map dart and go wherever it landed. It's where our roots were gonna be planted. Had all we could stand of this clip your wings town. We were talking big dreams, we were talking ponderings, never looking back. We were talking babies, we were talking crazy. Would you look at that? Crossing Warren County lines, us against the world. Lives just wasn't in the cards. We didn't make it that far. Just last week I passed you on the street, pushing your little girl in a stroller. And God, did she have your eyes? We didn't say nothing, just smiled. Man, it came rushing just like yesterday when we were wild and we were brave. What a funny thing. We were talking big dreams, we were talking ponderings, never looking back. We were talking babies, we were talking crazy. Would you look at that? Crossing Warren County lines, us against the world. Lives just wasn't in the cards. We didn't make it that far, no. The one that got away is just two pews back in church, 3 mailboxes down. Ain't it something how life works? We were talking big dreams, we were talking ponderings, never looking back. We were talking babies, we were talking crazy. Would you look at that? Crossing Warren County lines, us against the world. Life just wasn't in the cards. We didn't make it that far.
Let's go. What a tune.
Thank you.
That's great. Who'd you write that one with?
Heard that with Trent Wayne and Mia Mantia. Actually, like 4 years ago.
Dang, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's crazy how, like, that can, I mean, and I guess in all industries of music, but, like, especially in Nashville, I feel like you can write a song and 10 years later it comes out, or, you know.
Oh, yeah. I
plus,
mean,
you know.
You Should Probably Leave, that Chris Stapleton song, they wrote it 10 years before they put it out.
That's crazy.
It's pretty wild. Mm-hmm. And just like, this will sound like tooting my own horn, but I feel like good songs never die.
Right. That's so
and
true.
I believe in that song, and it will never die to me. So hopefully it won't die to other people.
Absolutely. No, that's a great tune. What's the second one you got for us?
Well, we talked about the quilt and my love for quilts, long-winded love for quilts, so I should play that song.
Let's do it.
There's a paisley bandana I wore on the farm, and a piece of brown leather that held up my guitar. Daddy's worn out Wranglers thin as paper in a red wine-stained t-shirt from my first broken heart. I can see it sitting on the foot of my bed. All the stitches, all the stories tied by a thread. It all fits together even when I don't think it will. 'Cause love is the patches and life is the quilt. It's colorful and tattered, takes a lot of time to make. Yeah, mine's had some patterns and some learned from mistakes. I could cut out bad parts, cover old scars, but there's all kinds of beauty woven into the pain. I can see it sitting on the foot of my bed. All the stitches, all the stories tied by a thread. It all fits together even when I don't think it will. 'Cause love is the patches and life is the quilt. Ooh. When I'm old and I'm weathered and the memories are faded, I wanna wrap it around me, proud that I made it. I can see it sitting on the foot of my bed. All the stitches, all the stories that I ain't wrote yet. It all fits together even when I don't think it will. 'Cause love is the patches and life is the quilt. Yeah, love is the patches and life is the quilt.
Damn, what a song. That's a
Thank
great
you.
tune. That's a really good tune. Really cool. I
Help me
love
feel
it.
my heartache.
That's sweet.
It's got me through some tough days, and hopefully does the same for other people.
Absolutely.
I've actually had like people walk up to me. One time a older lady walked up to me and said, I have a quilt that my husband and I were given on our wedding night, and he passed away, and I sleep with it every night.
Dang.
Just things like that.
That's wild.
Quilts hold so
actually.
many memories for people. And it's such a traditional thing in like American history and history
Right.
everywhere too.
I remember I graduated high school and I think my aunt and my grandma gave me one with like all my high school T-shirts. And
Yes,
stuff. And I'm
it's
thinking
such
back,
a
I'm like,
thing.
dang, I do have that. That's sweet.
You still have it? Good.
I do. It's really
Good.
cool.
They would be mad if they were on this podcast and heard you did.
Right. For real. So this third one. What's this third one you got for us?
So this is a song that I dress up for as Elvis for. So
What gave you this idea? Because obviously it's great idea.
it's the drugs that my mind are naturally on. I kid you not. I have like crazy ideas all the time. I love dressing up in Halloween. I think that's what inspired this. And so this song, my boyfriend and I were in Vegas celebrating our first anniversary, and I saw all these chapels, and I was like, we could run off to the chapel. It would be fun. Nobody would know our little secret. We'd only been together for a year at that point. I was like, I don't want to freak this man out. And also my mom would kill me. So I decided to write a song about it. I wrote the song with Wyatt McCubbin and Ben Williams on Zoom, actually. And we just put so many fun little like Vegas things in there. And we mentioned Elvis, and I was like trying to figure out what to do for the music video. And I thought, okay, marriage, maybe we should emulate a chapel.
Yeah.
And so I first had this idea of making a chapel in my kitchen, just with like backdrops. And then I thought, oh my gosh, I should be Elvis. When is a girl dressed up as Elvis?
Right.
I'm sure it's been done. But I was trying to blow up on TikTok from that. It didn't work, but whatever. I'm still proud of it. But yeah, it was just so fun. And Ben Williams and his wife, Bella Hudson, who's also an artist, they were the couple I officiated in the wedding.
That's great.
And so it was cool because I went to college with them. Ben helped me write the song. They're old friends. It was just meant to be.
Amazing.
And I'm still not engaged, but it's fine. In the right time, in right timing.
Timing, right?
You're right about that. This is You Say Vegas. You say you love me, I say prove it. Pick a state and I'll tattoo it. Get that slot machine hotel. Book that jet, yeah, we might as well. Get us a preacher, hell, get Elvis. They'll think we're crazy or I'm pregnant. You get a tux and I'll get a dress. You say Vegas, I'll say yes. We'll take every dime we have, put forever on 17 black. We'll pick out some pawn shop rings, make out in a pink limousine. I'll leave kiss me red lipstick while I'm taking a drag of your cigarette. I'll give you that look, you'll pay the check. You say Vegas, I'll say yes. Well, ooh, the way it's going, ain't no way I'm gonna say no. And ooh, baby, I'm in. All you gotta do is say when. We'll put postcards in the mail. You can be my Chippendale. I'm yesterday ready to take that step. You say Vegas, I'll say yes. Yeah. The Chippendale's my favorite line. Yeah. Well, ooh, the way it's going, ain't no way I'm gonna say no. And ooh, baby, I'm in. All you gotta do is say when. Ooh, I can't wait to see plastic us on top of that cake. Ooh, baby, I'm yours from here to them chapel doors. You say, let's go. I'll say, let's go. You say, I do. I'll say, I do. You get a tux. I'll get a dress. Oh, you say Vegas, I'll say yes. You say Vegas, I'll say yes. You say Vegas, I'll say yes. Hey! Yes. You did so great, Seth. Say yes.
Say yes.
Is that your singing debut on Podunk Perspective?
No, I've definitely had a few too many drinks on here a few times and started singing with the artist, but it's okay. It was fun.
You have to sing like you're cut.
Absolutely.
One day.
Yeah,
You have to.
That's a great song, by the way.
Thank you.
Very fun, very clever.
I love that you said yes. So I also had another crazy idea for the video that I just didn't have the budget for, but I wanted to get a pink limousine. Like we have a line in there that says "Make out in a pink limousine."
Yeah, hell yeah.
And they have them in Nashville, but damn, they're expensive.
Oh yeah, I bet.
So instead, we found like this hotel by a bunch of like crazy homeless people somewhere north of downtown, and just stood outside of it, and I bought a wedding dress at the Goodwill.
The Drake
Bins.
Hotel.
Yes, the Drake.
That is hilarious.
Yes.
So when a few years back, there was an apartment over there. I used to live in that area.
No way.
It wasn't the best area.
Yeah.
But
There was a homeless lady who walked up to us, and I had my boyfriend be in parts of the content.
yeah.
And she was like, "Oh my gosh, y'all just got married. So happy for you." And she did not understand. And she was like, "I want to hear you sing." And I was like, "Just stand by here and listen. We're going to film our video." And she hung out with us the whole time. And then she disappeared.
You know, it's funny because they have a sign, I think, on the front that says, like, multiple, music videos and stuff have been shot here at the Drake Motel. And so it's like, it's got to be from, like, the 50s or something.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's so retro.
Yeah, it still has the big, like, neon lights and everything.
Perfect.
It's pretty cool.
I love that.
You got one more for us?
Yes. Ooh. What should I play? Okay. I'm in an upper mood now. Where'd I put my capo? Okay, so I'm going to play a song about my time on Broadway, because that was huge for me and like starting my fan base and just my life in Nashville. And I wrote this song with Brittany Moore and Aaron Clafton.
Let's go.
In 2021. It didn't come out until 2025.
That's crazy.
Here we go.
I love it, though.
So if you write a song with me, just know it takes me a couple years.
Right. No, I love it. It's great.
But this song's called Honky Tonk Pie. I get up at 2 p.m. My hair still smells like cigarettes and gin. I count on what I made after what I spent. Pick up my pickle jar and 6-string and do it all again. Yeah. I've been singing in smoky bars, slinging cheap guitars, sleeping in my car, counting floorboard change, trying to make a name, writing songs about drinking, loving, and life, paying them dues, and spending my time trying to cut me a slice of that honky tonk pie. I rile up the crowd. This is when I get the crowd to go woo with some Tulsa time. A $20 tip moves it up in line. Oh, I can make you happy or make you wanna cry. Oh, and for the right amount of money, honey, I'll play whatever you like, even Freebird. I've been singing in smoky bars, slinging cheap guitars, sleeping in my car, counting floorboard change, trying to make a name, writing songs about drinking, loving, and life, paying them dues, spending my time trying to cut me a slice of that honky tonk pie. Can I get a yeehaw? All right. You're gonna be like, never inviting SJ back. Okay, this is my favorite part. So when I do live shows, I talk to people about what a honky tonk pie is. Seth, what do you think is in a honky tonk pie?
Ooh, definitely a little bit of beer.
Okay, yep, for sure.
Maybe a little bit of a bologna sandwich somewhere in there.
I was thinking a fried bologna sandwich from Robert's.
Yep, that's it.
A lot of hopes and dreams, some tears.
Yep.
And I specifically like to say on stage that it's a little bit of the smell between the Ryman and Tootsie's in that back alley. Woo! Some days it feels like that. And a lot of this. A hint of bad decisions, a touch of good luck, a cup of not giving up. I've been singing in smoky bars, slinging cheap guitars, sleeping in my car, counting floorboard change, trying to make a name, writing songs about drinking, loving, and life, paying them dues, spending my time trying to cut me a hunk of a slice of that honky tonk pie. Want me some of that honky tonk pie. Oh, fooled ya.
You got me there. That was great. Fantastic.
That was so fun.
Oh, SJ, thank you so much for coming on. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me and letting me try to do crowd work on you in a podcast.
It was great. I loved it. I had a lot of fun. Podunk Perspective. Go check out SJ McDonald on all platforms. Hit her up on social media. Check her out on the road. You're on the road with
Emily Ann Roberts.
Let's go.
And y'all, it's S for spicy, J for jalapeno.
Let's go.
McDonald for ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it.
Hey.
Thank you.
Podunk Perspective. We'll see you next time.
Shout out Seth Packan.
Thank y'all for tuning in to Podunk Perspective. We drop new episodes every Monday. Till next time.